Hi, it's Linda with No Frills ASMR. I found this book of quotes. It's from, what year is it from? Let's see. 1979. So I thought we could just kind of flip through it and see what we see. But yeah, it might be a little dated. We'll just work by the light of the old Himalayan salt lamp. Kennedy, what are these all Kennedy quotes? On January 20th, 1961, 43-year-old John Fitzgerald Kennedy was sworn in as the 35th President of the United States. As the first Catholic president, he embodied the spirit of democratic equality, and as the youngest man ever elected to the nation's highest office, he revitalized an apathetic. Why I feel like I'm saying that wrong. I know the word is just anyway. People and inspired high principles with his vision of the new frontier. On November 22nd, 1963, the American dream plummeted into a national nightmare. While riding through the streets of Dallas in an open limousine, Kennedy was shot to death by 2 sniper bullets. Let's see. So these are all have to do with Kennedy. Those who make peaceful revolution impossible will make violent revolution inevitable. I have the best of both worlds, a Harvard education and a Yale degree. John F. Kennedy, after receiving an honorary Yale degree. My son was rocked to political lullabies, said Rose Kennedy, his mother. If you bungle raising your children, I don't think whatever else you do will matter very much. Jacqueline Kennedy. We don't want any losers around. In this family, we want winners. Joseph P. Kennedy, is that his dad? I don't know. If there's anything I could take back to France with me, it would be Mrs. Kennedy, says Charles de Gaulle. I understand Jacqueline Kennedy has redone the White House in 18th century style. Why, then I'd fit in perfectly, says Barry Goldwater. I guess he was old. You have to have been a Republican to know how good it is to be a Democrat, said Jacqueline Kennedy. We would like to live as we once lived, but history will not permit it. John F. Kennedy. That's the truth. That's a pretty good quote. We would like to live as we once lived, but history will not permit it. We develop the kind of citizens we deserve. Oof. Truth is the only client here. Unofficial motto of the Warren Commission. All right, what is this one? Establishment. There is no such thing as a free lunch. Milton Friedman. Nothing is illegal if 100 businessmen decide to do it. Ain't that the truth? I don't meet competition. I crush it. Charles Revson. I don't know what that is. It's not enough that I should succeed. Others should fail. Oh, gosh. David Merrick. Scared cows make great hamburgers. Robert Reisner. Wow, these are some dark. All currency is neurotic currency. Norman O. Brown. Don't complain, don't explain. Don't complain, don't Henry Ford II. The rich are different from you and me because they have more credit. John Leonard. An ounce of hypocrisy is worth a pound of ambition. Michael Korda. You may give us your symptoms, we will make the diagnosis, and we, the establishment, for which I make no apologies for being a part of, will implement the crime. I'd have to think about that more than I feel like doing. The cost of living is going up and the chance of living is going down. Flip Wilson. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. Albert Einstein. If it keeps up, man will atrophy all his limbs but the push-button finger. Frank Lloyd Wright. Boy, Frank Lloyd Wright speaking truth before iPhones were even invented. I bomb, therefore I am. Philip Slater. Nothing recedes like success. Walter Winchell. To be successful, a woman has to be much better at her job than a man. Golda Meir. I am responsible for my actions, but who is responsible for those of General Motors? Ralph Nader. Ralph Nader is kind of an interesting character in history. I have to do a little search on him. The computer is a moron. Peter Drucker. Now remember, this is 1970. What would we say, 74? I think. I do not fear computers. I fear lack of them, says Isaac Asimov. Interesting. I'm self-employed, Prince Philip. Retirement at 65 is ridiculous. When I was 65, I still had pimples, George Burns, because he lived to be 100. Work is a necessity for man. Man invented the alarm clock, Pablo Picasso. By working faithfully 8 hours a day, you may eventually get to be a boss and work 12 hours a day. That's Robert Frost. I'd like to live like a poor man with lots of money. Pablo Picasso. Me too, Pablo. I'd like to live like a poor man with lots of money. I don't know why I think that's me. The trouble with being poor is that it takes up all your time. William de Kooning. That is true. The trouble with being poor is that it takes up all your time. Yeah, you end up having to do like so much more. It's better to be rich. The best minds are not in government. If any were, business would hire them away. Ronald Reagan. Yeah. The man who damns money has obtained it dishonorably. The man who respects it has earned it. Ayn Rand. Credit buying is much like being drunk. The buzz happens immediately, and it gives you a lift. The hangover comes the day after. Dr. Joyce Brothers. What else did Joyce Brothers say? Here's another one. The world at large does not judge us by who we are and what we know. It judges us by what we have. The trouble with the rat race is that even if you win, you're still a rat. That's Lily Tomlin. Lily Tomlin's funny. Be awful nice to him going up because you're going to meet them all coming down. Jimmy Durante. Yep. The better work men do is always done under stress and at great personal cost. William Carlos Williams. so great, women. Let's see what 1970s people are saying about women. Actually, it might be interesting because it looks like we have women talking here. Once upon a time, a liberated woman was someone who had sex before marriage and a job afterward. I don't know, I gotta think about that one. If I have to, I can do anything. I am strong. I am invincible. I am woman. That was a song Helen Reddy sang. I'm not radical. I'm just aware. I've come a long way, baby. Billie Jean King. She is the tennis player who played a man in tennis. And I've come a long way, baby was the slogan for Virginia Slim cigarettes. I never had to become a feminist. I was born liberated. Grace Slick. I bet she was. Freud is the father of psychoanalysis. It has no mother. Germaine Greer. Boys will be boys these days, so apparently will girls. Jane Howard. Oof. I'm not going to read that one because people might. You cannot be free if you are contained within fiction. You cannot be free if you are contained within fiction. Yeah, Julian Beck. All right, some of these are pretty A sharp knife cuts the quickest and hurts the least. Katharine Hepburn. Is that how you spell Katharine Hepburn? Is it A-R-I-N? Maybe it is. All human life on the planet is born of women. Adrienne Rich. Well, the basic and essential human is the woman. Orson Welles. Thoughts have no sex. Claire Booth Luce. Macho. All right, let's see what other sections there are. The true revolutionary is guided by a great feeling of love. Revolution is the festival of the oppressed. Germaine Greer. Women must become revolutionary. This cannot be evolution, but revolution. Shirley Chisholm. Make love, not war. San Francisco hippies at Haight Ashbury. Haight Ashbury, Hot Ashbury. Haight Ashbury. It's a sad and stupid thing to have to proclaim yourself a revolutionary just to be a decent man. David Harris. Isn't that true? We had a sense of importance that would have led us to risk our lives for our rhetoric. Jerry Rubin. If it takes a bloodbath, let's get it over with. No more appeasements. Ronald Reagan on the question of silencing campus radicals in 1970. Oof. No one in his right mind would make such a statement. Ronald Reagan's press secretary upon hearing this remark. There are things in here I couldn't even read out loud. They have quite a few with words that I don't think are appropriate. What does this even mean? I never trust a man unless I've got his pecker in my pocket. Wait, what is this section? LBJ. Lyndon B. Johnson. Vietnam. Let the sun shine in, anti-war poster. War is not healthy for children and other living things. Anti-war poster. We should go in and win or else get out. Russell Long. I'm not going to be the first American president who loses a war. Richard Nixon in September of 1969. We don't declare war anymore. We declare national defense. Eugene McCarthy. All wars are popular for the first 30 days. Arthur Schlesinger, Jr. Wars have never hurt anybody except the people who die. Salvador Dali. Well, and the people who are injured. Dali, actually. We need to devise a system within which peace will be more rewarding than war. Margaret Mead. Well, that's interesting. That's a good, interesting quote. A system where peace will be more rewarding than war. Huh, yeah. Kent State. Ooh, so, I don't know if I'll read that. That's a sad one. Couples. Love means never having to say you're sorry. Eric Siegel. That quote was around all through the 70s. Love never makes demands. Love is unconditional acceptance of unconditional acceptance of him and his feelings. Okay, Maribel Morgan. If love is the answer, could you rephrase the question? Lily Tomlin. The most exciting attractions are between two opposites that never meet. Andy Warhol. I go out with actresses because I'm not apt to marry one. Henry Kissinger. Men are always ready to respect anything that bores them. Marilyn Monroe. Familiarity, truly cultivated, can breed love. Dr. Joyce Brothers. A woman without a man is like a fish without a bicycle. Gloria Steinem. I have never hated a man enough to give his diamonds back. Zsa Zsa Gabor. Open marriage is nature's way of telling you you need a divorce. Marshall Brickman. I haven't known any open marriages, though quite a few have been ajar. Bob Hope. I used to believe that anything was better than nothing. Now I know that sometimes nothing is better. Glenda Jackson. I like Glenda Jackson. She was the female Elvis. They call her. She was a rockabilly. The greatest healing therapy is friendship and love. Hubert Humphrey. I think that's true. You take my wife, please. Henry Youngman. That was every comedian. They used to go, take my wife, please. A successful marriage is not a gift, it's an achievement. Ann Landers. Marriage isn't an up and down issue, it's a side by side one. Prince Charles. A man who knows marriage. You are a foul ball in the line drive of life. Lucy to Charlie Brown. It all comes down to who does the dishes. Norman Mailer. The difference between divorce and legal separation is that a legal separation gives a husband time to hide his money. Johnny Carson. To catch a husband is an art. To hold him is a job. Simone de Beauvoir. I don't know who that is. The best way to hold a man is in your arms. Mae West. Music is my mistress. She plays second fiddle to no one. Duke Ellington. When you get married, you forget about kissing other women. Pat Boone. That's nice, Pat. He was like, a religious guy, I think. A man usually marries because he wants to cure his mother. Cary Grant. Okay. We haven't ruled the possibility of children out. I figure I'm the blessed event in our family. Dick Cavett. The only time a woman really succeeds in changing a man is when he's a baby. Natalie Wood. Oh, wow, wait. Isn't this like right before Natalie Wood was disappeared on the boat? I always wonder about that case. Divorce is defeat. It's an adult failure. Lucille Ball. It seems the older men get, the younger their new wives get. Elizabeth Taylor. She had some pretty young husbands, though. I think she had like a 28-year-old husband when she was like, I don't know, 70 or something. The story of love is hello and goodbye until we meet again. Jimi Hendrix. Chic. The only thing ever constant in the fashion business is change. Halston. That's true. Fashionable men and women don't just put on fashionable clothes. The truly fashionable are beyond fashion. Cecil Beaton. I base most of my fashion taste on what doesn't itch. That's me. Gilda Radner. I love Gilda Radner. I don't think the American woman has any vestige of originality or any special thing of her own, nor does she want them. Let's face it, all she wants is to be popular. Diana Vreeland. Well, that's stupid. She is sexy, witty, and dry cleaned. Mary Quant's definition of a fashionable woman. There are no ugly women, only lazy ones. Wow. Zest is the secret of all beauty. There is no beauty that is attractive without zest. Christian Dior. What is elegance? Soap and water. Cecil Beaton. Eat plenty of garlic. This guarantees you 12 hours of sleep, alone, every night. And there's nothing like rest to give you shining orbs. Chris Chase. We should all just smell well and enjoy ourselves more. Cary Grant. The most beautiful makeup of a woman is a passion, but cosmetics are easier to buy. Yves Saint Laurent. Illusion is the secret of beauty. George Masters. Blue jeans, they should be worn by farm girls milking cows. Yves Saint Laurent. The gene is the destruction. It is the dictator. It is destroying creativity. The gene must be stopped. Pierre Cardin. Wow, they really hated jeans. And yet Pierre Cardin went to have a very famous line of jeans. Fashion is finding something you're comfortable in and wearing it into the ground. Tuesday Weld. Fashion is made by fashionable people. Halston. I watched a series about Halston. It was kind of good. My clothes are addressed to women who can afford to travel with 40 suitcases. Yves Saint Laurent. He seems like he's a jerk. It's a good thing that beauty is skin deep, or I'd be rotten to the core. Phyllis Diller. She was a comedian. If truth is beauty, how come no one has their hair done in the library? Lily Tomlin. All happiness depends on a leisurely breakfast. John Gunther. I'm with you, John. I love to kind of just take time and drink my coffee. When in doubt, wear red. Bill Blass. Big girls need big diamonds. Margot Hemingway. I think she was tall. I don't think she was ever big. I don't know. He who does not enjoy his own company is usually right. Coco Chanel. Yeah, okay. You're never too old to become younger. Mae West. Deep breaths are very helpful at shallow parties. Barbara Walters. Media. Well, I guess I'm probably done for tonight. I don't know what you guys think. Is that interesting at all? There are a lot of books here at my parents' house. I'm planning to flip through this one. This looks pretty interesting. 199 things every American should know. But it's old too. All these old books. I figure if they're